your Lakers station.
710 ESPN.
The Lakers had the best record in the West this year, and they are going to make it to the Final Four.
I'll tell you this much for the Lakers. At this point, they might be the best team, healthiest, and the hottest at the right time.
The Lake Show are in the Western Conference Finals and are hungry for more.
The Los Angeles Lakers are going to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 10 years.
I just believe right now we're playing good ball. This has been obviously the longest season of my career and probably the longest season for you guys as well. So we're just playing good ball at the right time.
From the home of the purple and gold at LA Live, this is Lakers Talk.
Here's Allen Sliwa.
On Laker fans, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is the Denver Nuggets post-game show, pre-game show. This is where Nuggets Nation lives. Thank you for tuning in. All right, we got a lot to get into tonight. Thank you for doing this. This is the, I guess, what do we call this tonight? It's like the post-game show of Lakers talk, or it's the pre-game show to, what do we play, a week from now? I mean, we're playing obviously down the road here. So thank you for tuning in. We got a lot to get into. I'm going to talk a little bit about tomorrow's games. All right. We got the Eastern Conference Finals starting. We got Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. We'll get a chance. Lakers head coach Frank Vogel came on the show. He was on Lakers Talk. So got a chance to talk with him for about 10 minutes or so. I'll chat with you a little bit about that conversation, some stuff that stood out to me. What else do we got here? And then I just kind of want to put a bow on the Lakers versus the Rockets and take it from there. Let me start off by this, okay? So yesterday, a lot of people hit me up, say, Al, you should go live right now. You should go live. First of all, I had a day off yesterday, okay? When I have a day off, you show some respect, you leave me alone, and let me have my day off, okay? All right, so I went, was asking for live, but I knew I was going to be coming on, and I was going to get the opportunity right here. So I tweeted something out yesterday. And before I ask you guys, who do you want to play in the Western Conference Finals? And I can make some cases both ways. Before I ask that question, I put out a tweet yesterday, and all it said was Clippers are overrated. And that was my opinion. That was my thoughts. I was watching a Clippers team that for 2 games in a row had a chance to get to the Western Conference Finals and blew over a 16-point lead in 2 games in a row. And this is supposed to be the team that, you know, everybody's talking about, and a lot of experts are picking the Clippers to win the whole thing. I don't mind that. It is what it is. Clippers are incredibly talented. You got 2 players that come off the bench that are 6 men. Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams. Kawhi Leonard is arguably top 3 in the entire NBA. Doc Rivers is a proven champion. Ty Lue's on that bench too. There's a lot of reasons why you would put the Clippers on this pedestal and say, damn, this is definitely one of the teams to beat, if not the team to beat. I overrated them. And I think a lot of other people out there probably overrated them. You know why I say they're overrated? Because a championship quality or a championship favorite team, they don't blow double-digit leads multiple times in the playoffs. They don't go 6 games against the Dallas Mavericks without Kristaps Porzingis for 3 of those games or whatever the case is. They don't blow 2 16-plus point leads to the Denver Nuggets, a young team. You know, it's not like the Denver Nuggets is a team of experienced veterans that know how to climb back. I mean, I saw something from the Los Angeles Clippers yesterday, and I saw something from my Denver Nuggets yesterday. One of the things that I saw, I know, rubbing it in a little bit. I know. I got to grow up a little bit. One of the things I saw from that Clippers team, it's like, damn, where's the fight? Where's the fight? You got a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in your franchise history. Okay, forget that. Put all the history aside for the Los Angeles Clippers. These individual players, where's that fight? Where's that chemistry? Where's that guy barking during the game saying, no, we got to do this. This has got to happen. Where's Doc Rivers getting up, grabbing a technical? I didn't see any of that. And I mention all that stuff because that was an eye-opener for me. The Lakers have had some opportunities to kind of show their killer instinct this postseason, right? They had that opportunity against the Portland Trailblazers. I thought specifically when they went up 2-1, you either let a team back in or that's it. It's over. Then against the Rockets, same thing, up 2-1. That's it. It's over. So with all that being said, I thought the Lakers have shown some chemistry. I think the Lakers have shown during adversity how they could pull together. I'm not seeing that with the Clippers. So that's why I say they're overrated. I don't say it because I'm just a Lakers fan and I'm, probably, I don't know why I enjoyed my Sunday so much yesterday. By the time 12:30 rolled around, I thought I was good to go. I'm like, I already won the day. I don't even need to go on with the rest of the day. 1-0 Sliwa and Nuggets Nation. But that's the thing that stood out to me. And that's the big difference for me right now between the Lakers and the Clippers. I'm seeing a team rolling like the Los Angeles Lakers. And let me also say this with the Clippers. Let me say this. This is what could happen tomorrow. Could happen tomorrow is the Clippers handle business. They take care of the Denver Nuggets. And then they get back on track. And the Lakers and the Clippers are in this, 7-game set of an incredibly tough series. That could happen. I will just say at this point right now, I've never been more confident that the Lakers are winning number 17 this year based upon how the Lakers have been playing and based upon how the Clippers have been playing. So that's how I assess that whole situation. How good was yesterday, by the way? Just real quick. Let's all just take a quick second and reflect off yesterday. You wake up, 10 a.m., you got Denver, you got Clippers going on, football starting, you got games going on in the morning, games going on in the afternoon, and then obviously the Sunday night game. Yesterday that's a good day. That's a good day. And you already know your Laker team is in the Western Conference Finals. Okay. You guys are commenting a bunch. I'm talking and I'm not looking at any of it. So now I'm going to start to read some of your comments. Here's my question out there. Are there fans out there that want to face the Clippers? Do you want to face the Clippers? So if you want to face the Clippers, put it in the comments and tell me why. All right. So give me kind of something to work with. I don't want to just see, and that's it. Okay. Give me something to work with here. All right. Give me some further analysis here. Do you want to see the Los Angeles Clippers? Let's see what we got here. All right. I'll let those comments come in and I'll start reading them. So this is the reason why I bring that question up. Because if it's the Denver Nuggets, and don't get me wrong, I'm rooting for the Nuggets tomorrow. Like there's no questions about it. I'm rooting for the Nuggets tomorrow, but I expect the Clippers to win. I expect it's going to be Lakers Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. But I do expect the Clippers to win tomorrow. All right. Brittany Murphy says on YouTube, yes, because the media will discredit the Lakers' run if the Clippers get eliminated. Let me tell you something. I don't know what media you're talking about. They might discredit it, but I don't think it matters. I really don't. Whoever wins a championship this year, however the hell you won it under these circumstances, it's all good. You earned it. You deserved it. You should appreciate it. And, if you're an opposing fan base, you should tip your cap to the team that won. And that could be, obviously Miami, it could be Boston, it could be Lakers, or it could be our Denver Nuggets, one of those 4 teams. All right, let me read off a couple more. Tip Shake on YouTube wants to play the Nuggets. I want them Clippers to never make the Western Conference Finals. Thought they were dogs. That's a great point. That's a great point there. What the hell would the Clippers do if they lost tomorrow against the Nuggets? How can you justify that? Like how? By the way, if the Lakers were in this spot, let's say the Lakers were in the Rockets, were playing the Rockets, and it went to a Game 7, and we got outscored by 16, 17, 20 points when we had a lead or whatever the case is, I'm telling you, I promise you, I would be on here right now saying the exact same thing. How can this be happening? I thought this is a team full of veterans. We're supposed to be competing for an NBA championship. We're having trouble with the Rockets, but it's the Clippers doing it, so you get a little bit more satisfaction in it. All right, let me keep reading off a couple more here. Yes, it validates the season. So Ruben Montez wants to play the Clippers because it validates the season. I get it. Can I say this? Isn't it supposed to be Lakers and Clippers in the Western Conference Finals? You know what I mean? Like, aren't I supposed to be doing the pregame show on Friday? And Michael Thompson and I kind of a little nervous and giddy. Laker fans getting ready to tune in, or you're getting ready to watch the game. And you know, there's a little bit of like, this is going to be a battle. That's technically what the Western Conference Finals is supposed to be like. So there's so many storylines between these two teams. Like, if you really think about it, you got the new ownership of Steve Ballmer, who's worth, what was he worth now? $70 billion? How can one person be worth that much? Can I just ask that question here real quick? But you got the new ownership of the Clippers. You got, obviously, the tradition of the Buss family. You got Kawhi Leonard picking the Clippers over the Lakers. You have Paul George that at one point had a chance to be a Laker. Lakers didn't trade for him and then didn't come in free agency. He's represented by the Clippers. You have so many good storylines between these two franchises. I feel like it's going to be Lakers Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. But if it is the Denver Nuggets, maybe when the season's over, maybe I make a trip out to Denver for a couple of days just to go visit the area. You know what I mean? Maybe not. I've heard great things about it. All right, let me read off a couple more of these. Let me see what we got here. A lot of I never want to see the Clippers make it to the Western Conference Finals. By the way, there is kind of a compliment to the Clippers in a weird way. When I say some of the things that I'm talking about, it is kind of a compliment because you know that's the biggest threat to the Lakers, right? Like, I don't question that at all. I'm shocked that they're in the position that they're in. I really am. I bought into all the hype. You know, watching that game yesterday. By the way, watching that game yesterday, and when people, this is what drives me crazy. When people want to compare Kawhi or any of these other players to LeBron James, I literally, to watch LeBron make everybody on the floor better. LeBron can put up 30 points, but he can also dish out 15 assists. Kawhi ain't dishing out 15 assists. But watching that game yesterday, just the way the Clippers collapsed and there was nothing, like nobody can do anything about it, has really kind of thrown me off because I did not expect that at all. All right, let me read off a couple more here, and then we got to start moving on to JP Ramirez. JP's got a lot of thoughts. Those two fakers, Kawhi and PG. Okay, look, they're good players. All right, everybody relax here, okay? Just because I got a little emotional here, you guys don't have to follow my lead, all right? James Santiago, this championship will be an asterisk, but I don't care on YouTube. I don't think it will. I think we'll just remember it as a year where it was, you know, in our lifetimes, the craziest year that we may even ever go through. We'll see what happens. But I don't think there'll be an asterisk. I think we'll just remember it as the year that COVID stopped the NBA and then everybody was playing in an Orlando bubble. Okay. I want to keep this rolling here. Appreciate you guys tuning in, by the way. This is Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. We're using all our platforms, whether you're tuning in on Twitch or Twitter or Periscope or YouTube or Napster or MySpace. How many MySpace people do we have on here? We got anybody? Any MySpace people? Follow me on MySpace. By the way, on my my Twitter, my Instagram, at Allen Sliwa. YouTube, Lakers Talk with Allen Sliwa. Just get in the mix here. Okay, I want to move on to the next topic. I had Javier makes a great point here on YouTube. Javier is basically saying that I might jinx. I'm kidding on MySpace, guys. Just relax, everybody. Everybody's thinking I'm serious here. Javier says, I might jinx by saying Nuggets Nation. What if Denver won an NBA championship? Yeah, that's it. Then the show's canceled. Okay, so head coach Frank Vogel. So, Coach, nice enough to come on Lakers Talk. Thank you to the Lakers Public Relations for making that happen. What I want to just kind of point out a couple things that Coach mentioned. So I asked Coach, I said something to the effect of, is this by far the best you think you guys have been playing in the Orlando bubble? Just how you guys have progressed. Is this the best we've seen so far? He said, yes, it is the best. Plus, they're going to have to get a lot better. Plus, as good as they were playing back in the regular season when it was, remember, where they beat Milwaukee, they beat the Los Angeles Clippers. That one stood out to me because, we're treating the bubble as kind of its own season. Frankly, it is. It was 4.5 months before they started playing again. So with all that in mind, there were so many question marks about this Lakers team walking into the postseason because we didn't know, okay, Avery Bradley loss, can they still have the same chemistry that they had before? They weren't playing good in those regular season games. So there was a lot of question marks about this Lakers team. Really what they were doing, just freaking pacing themselves. They were pacing themselves perfectly. You have all these veterans that, obviously understand that this is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And now doesn't it feel like the Lakers are just pacing themselves perfectly? And now you kind of take it up to another gear in the Western Conference Finals. And I feel like that's what the Lakers are doing. And don't get me wrong at all. What the Lakers have accomplished is virtually nothing. We just impressed with what we've already seen. But, at the end of the day, if you fold it in the Western Conference Finals, it doesn't mean anything. If this didn't continue and you didn't continue to show progress and how well you're playing and everything else, then that's a completely different story. But with all that being said, the Lakers are where they are right now. And I thought Coach saying that this is by far the best that they've played so far and he expects another level, that's good news for Laker fans right there. What else, Coach? Coach hit on, all the veterans on this team, how helpful it is to have guys like JaVale and Dwight and LeBron and Rondo and Dudley, winners, guys that have been there. They've been vets. They've won championships. They've lost championships. They've lost in the finals. And he said that that's been so key to all the younger players, like the Carusos, like the Kyle Kuzmas, some of these players, because they've never been in this position before. So they're trying to kind of make sure they understand what this moment is. Okay. We keep rolling on here. We keep moving on. Real quick, let's do some roll call here. Where are you guys tuning in from on this fine Monday night evening? Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know. That's it. Where you're tuning in from. That's all I want to know. I don't need to know anything else. I don't need to know anything about your personal life. Nothing. Just where you're tuning in from, and that's it. Okay. A couple other things that I want to get into as well. Got roll call going on right now. Let them in. San Diego, Brooklyn, Bay Area. Thank you for being a part of the show. Vegas, Vancouver, Portland, Jersey City. You know what's crazy about Laker fans? Think where all these Laker fans are, okay? Arizona, Sacramento. Apparently there's a Laker fan at King Taco. South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Thousand Oaks, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If I don't read off, if I don't give you a shout out, just keep kind of dropping where you're tuning in from, and I'll make sure to hit on it. Anaheim, San Bernardino, Japan, amazing. All right, great stuff. Edmonton, keep going there. Let me tell you why the Lakers are the team to beat for the remainder of the postseason. Hong Kong, thank you for tuning in. Pittsburgh, Lincoln, Nebraska, Utah, Manila, Philippines. Everybody's everywhere. Somebody's in Magic City. Let me tell you why. Lakers are the team to beat right now. I mentioned the amount of vets that the Lakers have on their team. Critically important. The amount of players, it takes to obviously win an NBA championship. You got to have guys that have been there, have done it before. So that's one thing that, obviously stands out to me right now. chemistry that the guys have right now. It doesn't feel like they're playing together. They care about playing together. They're playing for each other. I think that's obviously another big part for the Lakers. True team right now. That's the one thing I'm gonna question the Clippers on right now. Do they have the chemistry like the Los Angeles Lakers? Queensland, Australia, thank you for tuning in. Toronto, Bangkok, Bronx, all of you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in, right? That's, those are some of the key things that I think is, obviously important to point out. Let me point out a couple more things. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'll go ahead and point it out, and I think this will be helpful. AD stats. Have you guys seen AD stats in the postseason? And if you haven't, I'm going to pump them up right now because they deserve to be pumped up right now. AD stats. Going to Twitter real quick. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a social media site. Just came out. Just started. Okay, so AD stats in the playoffs. I'm going to compare AD and Kawhi, and this is going to go back to why I think the Lakers are the team to beat right now. Kawhi is averaging 29 points a game, 52% from the field in the playoffs, these 12 games that they've played. AD is averaging 28 points a game, 61% from the field. AD averaging 11 rebounds, Kawhi averaging 9.5 rebounds. Kawhi averaging 5.5 assists, or 10 rebounds, you can call it. 5.5 assists. AD averaging 4 assists and a block and a half. Kawhi with 2.3 steals. Kawhi and AD's numbers are pretty comparable. That's a good comparison. If you want to compare two amazing players right now, compare Kawhi and Anthony Davis. Why do I compare those two players? Because LeBron can't be part of that conversation. LeBron is in a class of his own. LeBron is completely in his own world. So I point that out because if the Clippers win tomorrow, out of the three best players left in the playoffs, two of them are playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Two of them are going to be playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't say that just randomly. That's genuinely how I feel. That the two of the three best players right now, there's the stats right there. That is on my MySpace page, FYI. So if you guys need it also, it's also sitting there. No, but it's up here right now. So you guys can tell, you guys can see that when I start kind of listing out the reasons why the Lakers are the team to beat, I shouldn't even have to list the reasons why. The Lakers are the team to beat right now. But AD and Kawhi numbers, I love showing those two, those stats there, because what that means is it's almost as if Kawhi and AD are canceling each other out. And then there's LeBron James. Still the best player in the world. Ricardo says can't compare either different position. What do you mean can't compare? So we can't compare Giannis and LeBron. We can't compare Luka Doncic and Kawhi Leonard. You can compare. How do you think they figure out MVPs? MVPs, it's any position, any player. And I could compare the value. I could definitely compare the value. Okay. A couple more things, and then we get the hell out of here and we go back to our Monday. All right, Laker fans. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show, by the way. Next game for the Lakers isn't until Friday. I got a couple NBA stories that I want to get into real quick. One that is, I'm going to start it off with this one real quick. Did you guys see what Pau Gasol and his wife did in honor of the Bryant family? How amazing is Pau Gasol? They named their child Elizabeth Gianna Gasol. What a beautiful, beautiful gesture from one of my favorite players, and I'm sure there's a lot of Laker fans out there that feel the same way. Just one of the classiest, one of the best. I told this story on Lakers Talk on the radio side. I told the story earlier today. I always listen to Ireland when John talks about Pau Gasol. He's the nicest man in the world. He told a story about they one time flew into Memphis and they got in at like 2:30 in the morning, and there's a private car waiting for Pau Gasol, and he takes off. He doesn't go in the team bus. And John Ireland asked the PR director at the time, well, why isn't Pau come with us? And they said something to the effect of, he does this, he promised, and he continues to do this work for, I want to say it's like a children's hospital in Memphis, something along those lines. So at 2:30 in the morning, that's where he was going. Look, I think the gesture is a beautiful thing, and what I think doesn't matter, but I'm sure the Bryant family, and I'm sure Vanessa Bryant love the gesture. Pau Gasol and his wife honor the Bryant family, named their child Elizabeth Gianna Gasol. Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool from Pau Gasol and his wife. Like I mentioned, a beautiful gesture. Game 1 between the Celtics and the Heat tomorrow. What do you guys think? I want predictions on the series. Predictions and why. Predictions and why. Who you guys think takes that series? I got mine here. I'm gonna go Miami in 6. I'm gonna go the Miami Heat over the Boston Celtics in 6 games. Even though I'm starting to see a lot of people, I had Windhorse on the show. Windhorse thought Boston wins the series. I guess Boston won 2-1 this year in the regular season. But I think Gordon Hayward is expected to come back at some point. I'm gonna go Miami. I'm gonna go Miami in that one. All right. What do we got here? We got Miami in 6, Celtics in 6, Heat in 6. Heat, I trust Butler more than Tatum, too young. That's actually the biggest difference for me. I just think Boston's got a lot of young players. They're legit. They're freaking only getting better. They're going to be around for a long time. I mean, they just did take out the Toronto Raptors, but I thought they had more talent than Toronto. But Miami, Boston is going to be a good series. We're all just looking forward to the Western Conference Finals. I think the East is actually going to be very entertaining as well. I think the finals can actually be really good. If it is the Lakers or, obviously whichever side it falls out on, I think it's going to be competitive. Bucks in 5, says Jason P. Jason, they're out, man. They're out, bro. They're out. They're no longer a part of it. How long have we been going now? That's the thing with Laker fans, man. Talk Lakers all day long. All day long with Laker fans. Okay, couple other NBA topics, and then we're done. Somebody explain this one to me. By the way, what should the Rockets do? Should they blow everything up here? Is that it? We just took out the Rockets. I told you guys what I was most excited about in that Rockets series is watching Rajon Rondo be so critical to the Lakers. Should the Rockets just kind of blow this thing up? Is that it? Listen to the competition coming in next year, okay? You still got the Lakers, the Clippers, who are going to be right there in the West. Watch out for the freaking Golden State Warriors. I'm already kind of worried about the Warriors. I think they're going to come back strong, and I think they'll probably shop that number 2 pick. So there's 3 teams right there. Denver is going to be balling. Utah is going to be better. You got some of those young teams out there. Who else am I missing out here? Blazers are going to be good again. Then you got all these other young teams that are like on the fringe, right? Memphis, maybe the Phoenix Suns. I didn't even mention Dallas. I haven't mentioned Dallas. So what are the Rockets going to do? I think they probably – I don't think they blow it up, but I think they should shop Russell Westbrook. Now, I don't know what they're going to end up doing with their coach, Mike D'Antoni, but if you want a style where you're shooting 50 to 60 threes a game, I don't think it's probably a good idea to have Russell Westbrook on your team. Like, it just doesn't make sense why he would be on that team. And he's probably the only asset that they have. So we'll find out what they end up doing. But, maybe they change everything. Somebody's put on here, maybe they go back to traditional, right, if they're going to change the coach. How does Mike D'Antoni – did I miss something today with this Mike D'Antoni thing that I saw? Did Mike D'Antoni fire the Rockets? Did he send out a statement saying, hey, thank you for your service? But I've never seen this happen from a coach before. I thought when you can't compete for an NBA championship because of your style, because when you've been with a team and you plateau at a certain point, when you almost lost in the first round of the Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought you get fired. No. Mike D'Antoni was like, thank you everybody for your service. He tips his cap, and now he's going to go get a job probably somewhere else in Philadelphia or Indiana or some of these other teams. I don't know what Mike D'Antoni is doing, but God bless that man. He has figured it out, and he is getting paychecks from everywhere. Okay, Lakers, not until Friday. Tomorrow, we got the Denver Nuggets, and we have the Los Angeles Clippers. Nuggets pregame show starts at 4. I'll be all over it. I'll be all over it, Laker fans. I'll be all over it. No, here's the reality. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens between these two teams. If the Los Angeles Lakers are facing the Denver Nuggets on Friday, man, I would be shocked. Absolutely shocked if that's the case. But it could happen. We'll see what happens. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just a reminder, we're back on Friday. Friday, we'll do our pregame show, and we'll get, as the week kind of progresses, we'll get a little bit more information. We'll see what's going on. Maybe on Thursday, I'll do some kind of a show. We'll see. Haven't decided yet, but enjoy the next couple of days off. And I am flying out to Pepsi Center right now in Denver and getting ready for the game, and we'll go from there. All right, Laker fans, enjoy the next couple of days. Enjoy tomorrow's games. Thank you for tuning in. And this has been Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN.